There we go. Thank you for saying that. Thank you. I'm glad I didn't go any further. Yeah, Michael, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, now we got audio, right, guys? Okay, cool. Yeah, we've had quite a few. I said hi to everybody already, so I'm not going to do that again. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it, guys. Who made that comment there a minute ago? Let's see here. Oh, there it was. I think it was Victorious talking about like 10 earthquakes in just a few hours here. Yeah, we've had quite a few earthquakes, guys. And again, I'm not the earthquake guy, but when we start talking about sizable earthquakes in the Cascadia subduction zone, that's a different story, okay? We need to talk about that because that's something that could, we'll get into that when we get there. But I am going to go ahead and give you guys a space weather update too. As promised, I'm trying to do them at least once a day. I'm going to try to get more on a schedule, like doing at the same time every day. It's really hard for me to do that, but I'm going to try. I'm not making any promises on that, but I definitely am going to try. Most likely, it'll probably end up being in the morning sometime. I'm not really sure exactly what time I can make that happen, but if I don't come on in the morning, just know that I'm going to do my best to at least come on once a day. So, and at least give you an update. But anyway, yeah, we got activity going on here with the Schumann. It's not excessive or anything, but definitely some uptick here in the resonance between our, inside our ionosphere and the surface of the Earth, that little bubble. Hey, Brandon, what's up, bud? Good to see you. Good to see everybody in there. Hopefully you guys can get something out of this. I'm going to try to be more consistent. I have actually been a lot more consistent getting videos up. So, but with this right here, guys, that's that's a pretty decent, I guess you could say, just intensification of the resonance there. And again, this is just in that Tomsk, Russia region. There is no global tool to show you, right? There's a bunch of these around the planet. It's better it's done this way because the resonance does change throughout the planet. You can change your resonance just in your own little area there's bunches of YouTube videos where you can just, pump out that resonance at all times if you wanted to, whatever hertz level you want. Hey, good to see you, John. So, yeah, that definitely does affect us physically and mentally. So I want to report on that. Now, actually, I was setting this up when I seen that earthquake pop off. But we're going to go through the space weather stuff real quick first. Now, you guys have heard me talk here, guys, about, you see these are flares, right? But did you see how low our X-ray production got? That's I have to say that's low for this time, during this time in the sun cycle. I mean, this is what it typically looks like during solar minimum. And don't get me wrong, it does fluctuate, but this is not something we typically see a whole lot of during, the ramp up into solar maximum, which we're headed headed that way quite quickly. But to show you guys what I mean, if you take this baseline, because I've explained this before, but this is a really good way to show you. You take the baseline of the X-ray production and you raise it up to here. Okay, because that's where it was hanging for a good amount of time, at the top of a B flare range or even into the C flare range. And you add those onto there, what happens? That makes those M-class flares. Do you see what I'm saying? So if even though, this doesn't look like a whole lot of X-ray production, it actually is. It's more of a, I really don't even know how to explain this. You're getting that burst of X-ray. It's an extra burst of X-ray. And that's what, that's how we judge the power typically of a flare. And that's why they do this. But again, because we were so low on the X-ray production itself already, that was already here, constantly hanging in there. Anytime a sunspot is facing the Earth, whether it's flaring or not, it's producing X-ray. And that's why our baseline goes up. So when we do get those bursts or those flashes from the flares, it most definitely does, you know. What'd you say there, Jay? Is there anything that ties ears ringing like tinnitus? Yes. Yes. 100%, Jay. That's actually probably the biggest thing that people talk about. If you start feeling ringing in your ears, it definitely could be the Schumann increase, okay? The resonance increase where you're at. Remember, it's got to be where you're at. You can't just look at one tool and say, hey, this is happening. You know, if it's a global issue and it's like coming from the sun, then, you know, it's causing that increase, then yes, I mean, we can talk about that, but that'll show up on different, multiple different tools. But yeah, so that's you know, that is the main symptom that most people talk about. And, you know, with the big increase, guys, you can really start feeling really, really bad. They pump it in to the space stations. They pump it into anybody working underground. And they do that for a reason, right? They don't want people going nuts or get sick, because both happen. Very well documented stuff, okay? You got just simply Google search it, and you will find out rather quickly. But anyway, so that, you know, it did flare. So let's go look at the flare real quick, and so I can show it to you. And I'm going to show it to you on 90. It's not going to look very impressive because it's not. Because it's really not doing much. It's down here. This is the only sunspot right now facing the Earth. You see it? Those little bursts right there, and then that last one was the biggest one. And you can see when that last one flares a little bit, you watch the tool right here about now. Watch. Boom. See it? You see it move a little bit? That flare happened, and then the X-ray got to the satellite. That's how fast it is. Okay? So I'll try to, I can stop it on that, and we'll take a look at it. Right about, okay, yeah, that was pretty cool. I seen it jerk. Okay, so there's the start of the flare. Okay, and yeah, we're right here, guys. I know, again, guys, I know it doesn't look impressive because it's not really, but this could have been a little bit more bigger of a deal if we had more X-rays already hanging around. So, and yeah, I've seen that. These are very, very common in these photographs, guys. That is nothing more than, you know, because you can't tell how far that is away from the satellite. There's no way to know how big something is or how small it is by just looking at this. There's roughly about 93 million miles between us and the sun. So depending on where that actually was flying in front of the satellite, that would determine how big that is. Right? And it might not even be an object. Because when you see these things, they're almost, see how that's straight vertical? This is most likely a camera anomaly, okay, from light or charged particles. Okay? You know, if this was actually an object, every one that we see on here that look like this are either vertically straight up and down, moving one direction or the other. You never see them angled. They're not, you know, so the chances of that actually being an object is really, really small. I don't think it is. I think it's just the charged particle stuff impacting the camera here. So don't hold too much stock into that, because just don't take my word for it. Go look at some of these other ones that look like this. They're all completely straight vertical. That is not possible in nature for every one of them to show up like that. So it has to be something technical there, is what I'm saying. But anyway, you can see that. Okay, we'll go ahead and bump it forward. And you see how that did that? Okay, so you get the flare first. The X-ray left the sun there. And then you get this. Okay, you see how it kind of, it looked like the satellite got bumped around a little bit. Now, I don't know exactly sure, because sometimes you don't see it like bouncing around there a little bit. Typically, you'll get this little blur look like what we're getting right there, and then it'll lighten back up. And sometimes with the bigger flares, you'll see like the green color of this, the 94 angstrom, it'll show up all in the whole capture because it's affecting the camera. Okay? Hey, Miss V, what's up? So, yeah. So that's what that is. Now, again, I have to go back to this real quick and show you that if we were up here and it did that, that would have pushed us up here a little bit further, I would think. So just thought I'd point that out. Now, you can see here their forecasts for geomagnetic activity, which is not caused by flares. The CME production that oftentimes accompanies a flare is what causes the geomagnetic uptick, and it takes it roughly 3 to 5 days to get here typically. Now, as we get into solar maximum, we're going to see some blow off that move a lot faster, just so you know. Now, we already have. We had that X-class flare, I don't know, a month or so ago. Okay, but I will say this, that NOAA is forecasting 5 days out here some sort of an uptick. Now, you can see right there that right there, I'm not really sure what they're saying that is. I think it might have been the filament releases that I'll show you here in just a second, okay? There was like 2 or 3 filament releases on the southern part of the sun, and it's really up in the air whether or not they're going to hit us, but now most of the models are now showing that it will. So we will we'll take a deeper look at that. Back at you, John. Back at you, man. Okay, so right now, again, like I said, there's not much geomagnetically going on. So I'm not going to spend too much time showing you the Discover data. It'd just be a waste of time, really. Everything is just kind of normal. Okay, so the magnetopause models, magnetosphere models. This is wind speed itself. This is density, and this is magnetic pressure. Okay. And again, you're not going to see a whole lot because there's just not much going on geomagnetically right now. Okay. Again, I'm not going to waste too much time showing you this because I'm just showing it to you so you guys can see it. So you guys can kind of know what quiet conditions look like. Now up here on the wind speed, it is varying just a little bit. You can see a couple waves come in. I'll show it to you here on the end. See that little wave coming in right there? That's a little bit faster solar wind. Now, I don't know what's causing that. It could be from anything. Who knows? But like I said, guys, they're not forecasting any kind of uptick. You can tell by right here. Okay? Just look at your KP numbers on the dates here. And again, KP directly correlates to geomagnetic storm levels over here. Now, 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the KP are G0, right? There is no storm. G1 is the first storm level, and that starts at a 5 on the KP. Hey, the Recovery Channel, good to see you. You should come check us out on the lifeboat if you haven't been over there yet. I'm not sure if you've been over there yet or not. We're doing some a lot of good work over there getting people help with addiction. It's pretty powerful stuff. We've been doing really good and helping a lot of people. Helping myself just by doing that. Anyway, the Aurora. Okay, you're not going to see a whole lot here either. Okay, because typically you won't see this bump around unless we're getting geomagnetic activity. North and South poles, what you're looking at there. Geoelectric model, same thing. Okay, not a whole lot. This is space weather's effect on artificial electrical components. 3-dimensional on the left. This model is not complete yet. They're still working on it. They are actually, I think this little chunk here is kind of new. It was kind of broke off right there, so they're working on this, trying to get this model up to par. But the 1-dimensional model on the right does just fine for what we need to see, right? And again, there's not much going on there. So, okay, seeds. Now, I want to say this too. This is LASCO C2 right here. This is on the Soho Observatory, about 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are. And it's always looking at the sun. Not much going on today, right? But let me back up a day or two, and you can definitely see these are those filaments. That's why they're all in the south. There was a couple of them. And this one down here, it's kind of hard to see on this right about there. You see that kind of like a little halo, half of a halo looking thing? Typically when you see that, either that's going directly away from us or it's coming at us. This one did blow off on this side, but it looks as though most of the energy here, guys, is going to sail to the south of our planet. Now I think most of them now are all saying that yes, we possibly could get a hit, like a side-swiped hit, not a direct hit, I don't think. But again, the models have now come along to agreement with one another, actually. But anyway, this is stereo A. It's our side view. Okay, so if the satellite's here where my cursor is, Earth would be over here. Okay, it's not directly 90 degrees, but when you're looking at this model, it kind of is. It's hard to explain. This satellite's is in the same orbit Earth is around the sun, but it's like a month and a half behind us. Okay, so that gives it, that distance. And it is moving our way too. So it's getting closer and closer to Earth, which was always planned. And just so you know, it's not something out of the ordinary. So let's back that off. And again, guys, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time even showing you these flares or these filament releases, but I'm going to take you back here and let you see them, obviously. And when we're looking for filaments, what do we look at? Well, we look at the 304, typically, the angstrom, the 304 angstrom, because it does show us the filaments better, all right? It won't show a flare as well as some others. It won't show a CME as well as some others, but it will show the filaments way better than the other ones. Now, what we're looking for are the dark shadows. They look like little strings. And again, it's a filament like inside of an old incandescent light bulb. When the light bulb goes out, that filament in the middle breaks, right? That's what causes it. So let me pause it here, and you're going to see a couple of them just blow off here. Right there, you see that? Now I'm going to play this right here at this beginning because it actually swirls a little bit. It's pretty cool looking. Right about there. See that? Okay, and then if you watch it, you'll see another one. Right there. Okay? Then you can even see a third up here. I don't think that one might not have left the sun. It was hard to tell. But that first one is the one that would be giving us an issue. Not really an issue, just give us an uptick. All right? So you can definitely see that the general direction is south of our planet. But it is right in the middle. So if it does, some of that stuff does creep northward like the models are showing now, it definitely could give us some, uptick in some of the parameters and the data that we look at, right? So there's those. And that might be what we get, right? We might get a geomagnetic storm out of it. Who knows? At this point, it's, again, guys, it's one of those things that it's hard to predict and it's hard to see exactly, especially when we're talking about a side swipe. But yeah, so this is spaceweather.com, and here's the only sunspot, right, that I showed you already. Now, remember, guys, how do they judge sunspots and stuff? It's by the X-ray. That's where the flares are. So when there are sunspots on the front of the sun here, we always have a higher baseline of X-ray. So it doesn't take much of a flare to get you into higher X-ray level. And that's kind of what I'm saying. So this is actually, it's not really all that big of a spot, but it's already popping little flares. But so we got to keep our eye on it because it is right in front of us. If it decides it wants to grow or if it decides it wants to get more powerful. At this point, I don't think they're expecting a whole lot out of this thing. So, again, but I have to say this is why you can't look at the sun and try to pick an object on the sun and try to show anything else like location and rotation and all these things from the sun. Because the sunspot can pop up and go away within 12 hours, maybe even quicker. We've seen flares pop out of the sun without even having an official sunspot. So that's kind of what I'm saying. So you got to understand that. Plus the equatorial region of the sun rotates faster than the poles. That's why the sunspots become latitude wise horizontal in the positions that they are. they're always, horizontal. They'll line up horizontal, north or south. That's because the equator of the sun's rotating faster, and it's pulling those lines of magnetism as the sun cycle increases. So the more and more it gets pulled, the more horizontal they become, and the more kinks that happen in those horizontal magnetic field lines, and they pop out of the surface, and that's what your sunspot is. Okay, so that's why, and once we get to the peak of solar maximum, and then we start going back into solar minimum, the switch of that is a magnetic pole reversal on the sun. That's what a sun cycle is. So and then everything, the sunspots pretty much go away for a good amount of time, and all the magnetism lines start off being vertical again. And we don't start seeing the sunspots until a little bit later on, because again, the equatorial region of the sun is rotating faster than the poles. So, anyway. Okay, so I know everybody's, oh my gosh, there's another one, guys. I don't know what's going on here, guys. That's crazy. That just updated. That's pretty significant, guys. I'm not trying to say anything. I didn't expect to see that. That one just happened. We had back here, there was a 5. That's when I seen the first one pop off. Was it back here? Or was it the... Hold on a minute. Okay. So I seen this 5 right here, this 5-5. Right? And then another 5-5. And now another... That's the Sandwich Islands there, sorry. Then it goes to a 4-9, and then a 5-8. Guys, and I have to say this, I do not like seeing earthquakes in this position. Okay? And again, you guys know I don't say stuff like that lightly, so just pay attention. Don't be fearful or anything. We'll click on the tsunami thing here. I don't think it's going to show us anything. Yeah, there's not even no tsunami concerns right here right now. Okay, so don't freak out. Please don't. I even hesitated even showing you guys this right now because I don't want people freaking out. So just understand that. Now, a 5-8, that's significant for over here, guys. Now, we have to understand, most people know, especially if they've been watching me for a minute, understand that the Cascadia subduction zone, when this thing actually does finally give and just do what they think it's going to do when it does, the whole west coast of our country will be redefined. Okay? And I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that over the top either. Because we just simply don't know when that's going to happen. But when you get these, we don't typically get these sizable ones out here. Okay? So anytime we see anything like over a 4, we're like really paying attention to this. And again, I'm not the earthquake guy, but I do understand what the Cascadia subduction zone is. Okay? Most people that live out here know what this is. Because even, like I said, guys, mainstream will report on this too. This is not something that's questioned, really. They've all said, everybody's always said, that when this thing decides to go, it's not going to be good. Not only would it do that to our west coast, it would, what do you think it's going to do out here? And here. Okay, so it's going to affect a lot of things. And I said it like this before, and I quit saying it because it does sound kind of fear, like fear-based, but I'm trying to make light of it a little bit. Maybe I should or maybe I shouldn't, but that's just me. When this thing goes, you literally probably could start buying beachfront property in Arizona. That's how significant they think this will be when it does go. Now, this is not that. Okay? This is not that. I'm going to say that right up off the bat. This is not that. Okay? So people that live out here, they know typically. So I'm just showing it to you. I'm not even going to go into detail because I don't feel that I'm knowledgeable enough on this subject. Okay? But I did want to show it to you. I actually was just going to show you the 5.0 that pops off But now we've got this is now a cluster of quakes, sizable ones. And if you look at the numbers here, the 5.5 and the 5, you have to wonder, because those now would probably be considered foreshocks. So you have to wonder if this isn't a foreshock too, because the strength of them was increasing, not decreasing. So I don't know. I simply don't. Now my guess is when I get off stream here, you're probably going to have 1,000 different earthquake channels out there popping on stream. Okay, so if you want to know the details on this, go to some of those. You know, Ron over emergency management. You got Terry. Hey BK, what's up? A new 5.7 already again, huh? Well, we got a 5.8 right there. Unless they've let me just I guess I could refresh the screen here. So yeah, that was at 19. That would be 736. Yeah. So yeah, we've got. Yeah, just pay attention if you guys live out there. Okay. Most likely, people have the apps and stuff. Hey, Joanna. Trish, good to see you. Most people have the apps even on their phone. Hey, Christine, good to see you. So just understand that, guys. Yeah, just pay attention if you live out there, please. Again, I'm not trying to do anything fearful or anything here. I hope you guys aren't picking that up, because I'm not scared about this at all. I don't think you guys should be either. But it would be remiss of me not to say, hey, pay attention, okay? Hey, Raven, what's up? Pamela's in the house, baby. Hey, James. So, yeah, guys, I mean, yeah, pay attention. That's all I can say. And I will say this, too. We've had quite a few 5s and 6s throughout the whole planet lately. The earthquake activity is picking up right now. You can definitely see it here. 51 earthquakes within whatever this list is. I think it's the last, I can't remember. Maybe is that a 24-hour number? Probably. But it's 2.5 or bigger. Now, this isn't, this is USGS, and it's set up basically for the United States for us. It does show some of the other ones, but do you honestly think that there's nothing going on anywhere else? Like, do you think that the earthquakes stop at the border? No, they don't. There's stuff going on up here too. Okay, they're just not plotting it. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. I don't see any tsunami concerns right now, guys. So that right there should set your mind at ease a little bit. Yeah, I just updated again too, so we still got that 5.8. That's the most current one. Now, what I'll do is we'll go over here to the Buoy Center here. Let me find it. Schumann. Where's it at? Where are you at? There you are. Okay, so if you ever, if you see earthquakes, guys, and you see things going and you see things happening, this is a good place to go to kind of see if you think there might, kind of rule out any kind of tsunami issue. These are buoys that are out there. Okay, they're going to detect wave height and how fast they're rising and dropping. And the yellow diamonds means that they've gotten information within the last 24 hours. The red ones, basically, they're not operational right now. For whatever reason, we can all question whatever we want to question there. But the fact of the matter is, either they're not operational. So, but if you see one blinking, it means it's in event mode, which means it's detecting enough of a raise or drop in wave height that it put it in event mode. There is one over here, but look how far it is from Cascadia. So I doubt if this has anything at all to do with what we're seeing. And again, I really don't even know how to explain this graph to you. I can tell you that it's wave height. You can see the meters up here. That looks like a time frame here. I just simply don't know how to read this. Okay. But again, anybody that does, you can figure out how to read this. I just haven't done it. Again, I'm not the earthquake guy, but And also, I want to say this: just because something's in event mode doesn't mean that there's actually an event. So if we see that, and then we go back over to the earthquake map, do we see anything there? Let's see. Doesn't look like it. I mean, because it's out here, guys. Now, you know, I don't. Again, you would think that if that one was caused by the what I didn't even look what time the event was. Yeah, see how much more time we've had since then. So this has nothing to do with what's going on the West Coast. Okay, just so you know, that one does not. So we can zoom in here and see if anything here is flashing. I don't think it is. Again, you can see the actual Cascadia subduction zone right here. You see this? That's not a line that they put in there. That's the topography underneath the water in the ocean. But you can see how that's like that? And if we go over here, what do we got? Well, you got the same. These are fault lines, right? Or at least plate boundary lines. So that you can definitely see the plate boundary lines underneath the water. You don't even need them to tell you that, is what I'm trying to say. So the earthquakes are happening like right here. I think. Let me double check. Maybe a little bit more north than what I was showing you. Kind of up here. So none of these buoys are in event mode. So it's had enough time now that they probably should have been if it was going to do anything, you know, tsunami-wise. So I wouldn't think that would be an issue. That's just me looking at it from the, oh man, those things are popping right now. You were right, BK. There's another 5.7 right there. See that, guys? Now, again, I want to preface this by saying that, you know, there is no tsunami warnings. Okay, I see it, Anna. Thank you. I'm going to click on the buoy. You click on view event in the window that pops up. Okay. We can go try that in just a second. Let's go over here and do it. Let's go find the one that's in event mode. It's way over here. Click on the buoy, then you click on view event down here. Okay, I see. In the window. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, you're going to get all the. Yeah, you see this. This gives you a different graph. What they've done is they've taken that same amount of time it was showing you, and they stretched it out so you can kind of get a line here of what's going on. Right? So yeah. There's the column height. So they had a drop and then back up, but then it leveled right back out. So you have to wonder if that was technical in some sort, because typically it ain't going to show you that like that. If it's going to keep moving, is what I'm saying. If it's a tsunami, maybe, I guess. Guess depends on where it's at. So, but yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. This is this. I went over to the one that was in event mode, and thank you for that. Though I never even knew that was there. So you can go down and get all the details that you want. Okay, it even goes back, I think, a little bit here in time. So yeah, it gives you the height at any given time here of the waves. So basically, what it does is it picks up either a rise or a drop in a certain amount of time, and if it is past its threshold, it'll put the buoy in event mode. I'm guessing that's how it works. So, but again, guys, I'm not the earthquake guy, but thank you though for that, Anna. That was I didn't know you could do that. Like I say all the time, guys, I learn more from you guys than I could ever learn from to show you guys. I mean, it's just yeah. Okay. So yeah. Oh, something else too, guys. Well, maybe we'll talk about that in a little, in a different show. It's getting kind of long here. I don't want to go too much further. Been trying to keep these kind of short, guys, because been trying to respect everybody's time. But again, the live streams are going to be a little bit longer than the uploaded videos with updates. So I gave you guys the update at the beginning for a reason, and that's why. Okay. So if I go over here, let's yeah. Let me do this again. Hold on. Go to my subscriptions. Hold on a minute. Okay. Yeah. What's that? Sorry about that, guys. Let's do this. Let's go to let's go to YouTube. And so yeah, guys, I'm going to be going live over here, right here, guys. Here in just a few minutes, I'll be over here on the lifeboat. You guys want to come over and have a good time and share and learn some stuff about. You guys got anybody that is suffering from addiction? Or if you want to learn stuff about that, we're talking about taking a personal inventory, and not just addiction. This is about living your best life. So we do live streams over here every night. So if you would allow me to, I will. Where the heck did that thing go? Huh. Okay. Anyway, so here's the link. If you guys want, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could come check it out. We always, we learn over there. I learn constantly, just so you know. Again, it's more about talking to the chat over there. It's a very safe place for people to come and talk about addiction if you're fighting it yourself, or if you're just trying to learn how to lose weight, fight sugar cravings. We talk about that quite a bit, believe it or not. All that stuff. So, but tonight the topic is talking inventory and defining yourself. But we concentrate on the chat, okay? Because it's important for everybody to come there and be able to voice what they need. If they're having issues, we can help them. And it's a group setting. So, guys, just understand that it's very safe. Nobody judges you. Ocean topography map that would show a volcano forming there. Yeah, that's a good idea. That'd be pretty cool. There you go, Kathleen. Get it. Heck yeah. So there's the link there too. And guys, Mark Pires will be live tonight too. Renaissance man, go check him out. Good laughs, good improv music and comedy. It's great stuff. So it's all positive stuff. I don't point you to something that's negative. You guys understand that. I know you guys do. So I really appreciate that too. So, but I am going to go ahead and end it, guys. I hope to see you guys over on the lifeboat here in about 15 minutes. Please come over and check us out. Check us out. Hey, Jerry's over there already. Good to see you, Jerry. Hey, already over there. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So, just do me a favor and come check us out. That's all I'm asking. Just give it a chance. BK, you should show up over there too, brother. I think you could get something out of it, man. I really do. It's a good group of people. Really is, man. So, you're welcome, Greg. But I am going to go ahead and pop off here, guys. Guys, just remember, anybody living on the West Coast, please pay attention to this. Okay? That's all I'm asking. Actually, they just raised that. You see that, BK? That was a 5.7. They don't typically do that, guys. Usually when you get a reading from USGS, typically it'll drop like 0.2. That's usually about the standard. That actually went from a 5.7. They bumped it up to a 5.8. So, and again, we'll check out the tsunami thing, if anything at all. But I can tell you right now that that's activity nobody expected to see tonight. All right? That was not something that was... And that is most definitely, in my opinion, from what I've seen in a while, that's probably the most significant swarm that we've had out here in Cascadia in some time. Okay? So, just know that. All right, guys. I am going to take off out of here. So, anyway, God bless. Yahusha saves, and